So, I want you guys to forgive me because there are going to be some changes. And just like when I started doing lives many years ago, we were just real with those and honest with those and just, who we are. So, first and foremost, Carly and I have never really tried to be anyone other than, who we are. So, we've got a couple of different streams going on right now. And what I'm going to be talking about today is some changes in the future of the medical bill that just got passed. So now that I can actually speak in depth about this bill, I'm about to do that. We're not going to talk about it all today, but we're going to break down a couple of key points about the Medical Cannabis Act here in Mississippi and some of the misconceptions that lie out there about that bill. Now, since I've always been open and transparent and willing to have this conversation, first and foremost, anyone is welcome to sit down and have an adult conversation with me about what's in this bill, this Medical Cannabis Act for Mississippi. Willing to be very transparent about it and educate anyone who might have questions. So you're not going to hear anything from me, first and foremost, anyone out there. You're not going to hear me bash you either for or against either way. Okay. But that's what we're going to talk about. And ever since the very beginning with CBD, this journey started about 7 years ago for Carly and I. We actually sit on the Mississippi Medical Marijuana Coalition. We weren't really allowed to say that a little while back, but we can now. We are one of a select few in the state of Mississippi that actually talk to local representatives and legislatures from across the state that gave input about the cannabis bill. I went to jail for this. Does it make me happy? No, but it's part of the story. It's part of the truth of Prescotts and our company. And hey, Matt, how are you? I know we need to get in touch. As you can see behind me, I'm laying low still in the offices. I haven't been out in about 4 weeks, got a few more to go. But anyhow, as far as CBD and cannabis and using it for medicinal purposes, Carly and I have always approached Prescott's in a dispensary type effort, in a dispensary type mode. I'm actually glad that this bill is not in the hands of pharmacists. They're very educated individuals. They're very, very smart, but they do not know how to dose cannabis. They've been against dosing cannabis. Okay. There's a lot of false information out there about this bill. Again, I can't divulge and share all of this with you in one video. So what I'm going to say, if you have an interest in knowing more about this bill, the conversations that I have, you're going to want to go over to our YouTube channel. Facebook has blocked our Prescott CBD page. We're still going to do live videos and tag Prescott CBD on Facebook, but we are also live streaming a podcast called Mississippi Cannabis Radio right now. You can find that on Podbean. We'll also be popping links up across Facebook, Instagram. We'll be going to a new point of sale system. So many of you touch bases with us through our dispensaries. Through that, if you want to get on the list, an email list that will not be sold, it will be confidential because has to adhere to the HIPAA Act. So what I'm telling you, this company that Carly and I built, Prescotts, has to adhere to all the HIPAA Acts just as a physician does. We have to report every 24 hours to the Department of Health of the state of Mississippi, just as any other physician or pharmacy has to do. We will have to adhere to those same guidelines right here. So if you want true and factual information, we're going to invite you to join our page on Facebook. If that's your venue, you have to go join the page. We cannot invite you. It will no longer allow us to invite people to Prescott's page. We'll have our assistants and social media people drop those links below. If you're watching the rerun, tag me rerun. Let me know where you're watching across from the state of Mississippi. Again, go join us on YouTube. Now, one of the things that I want to talk to you about, one of the major misconceptions of this, and that I really, really felt compelled that is important to let you all know. Mississippi really, really went above and beyond in creating this bill. Is it perfect? No, no bill is perfect. But Mississippi legislatures, those that voted for your bill unanimously, they listened to the people for once. That we need to be grateful for, because enough people picked up the phone, emailed, let their representatives, their legislatures, their congressmen know what they wanted. Now you got a governor, one dictator tater you can get rid of if you want to, because he don't want to sign it. But here's the deal: he doesn't have to sign it; it still goes in. So the voice of the people spoke. Your legislatures listened to you. So just as in a presidency, your governors and representatives at the House of Washington D.C., you also need to make them start listening to you, because again, this bill, is it perfect? No, but I'm excited about it. Very excited. And the fact is that it can be changed. We can modify this. So if we have a patient that's really not getting enough medicine, then this can be modified. The physicians can say, hey, Department of Health, we might need to look at doing this and whatnot. And this is a seed to sale tracking. This is a felony. There are rules. If you screw up, you will go to jail. I have dreamt of this day. This is a lifelong dream come true for Carly and I. We have both dreamt of this day. She's up there in Corinth today working. If you guys want to go by and see her, she's got a copy of the bill. She loves talking about this as much as I do. Jody's down in Tupelo. There will be a lot of changes. We will be moving one of the locations in Tupelo. But you will not lose your gun rights with this bill. That was one of the things I was most excited about, because just because you are a cannabis card holder doesn't mean that you should not have the right to bear arms and protect your family and protect yourself. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there in the world today. You guys know that. So that's one thing. You're not going to lose your rights to own a firearm or have to give your firearm up if you choose cannabis therapy, okay? That was a really, really big deal for a lot of people. They didn't want to give up their gun rights or the ability, again, protect their family and protect themselves if they were to choose the use of cannabis therapy. Okay. There's a lot of people saying, oh, well, you can't have but 3.5 grams a day. Well, they probably got that from one dictator tater, because he's the one that's Googling information instead of using his educated people that he has that's been having conversations with him for over 3 years. That is not true. It is not 3.5 grams a day. What you have is units, okay, of medical cannabis. It will be broken down into units, okay? You're allowed to have up to 7 of those units per week, okay? So you get 7 units per week. Each individual unit is comprised of 3.5 grams of flour, or 1 gram of medical concentrate, or 100 milligrams of a THC infused product. So this is just a little bit of info. Thank you for those that watched. I've already been on about 9 minutes now, and that's where we lose people's attention on Facebook. But again, we're going to start doing a podcast. We're going to start having guests on. We got Mr. David Rippey that will be coming in from the West Tennessee Hemp Association. Lots going on over in Tennessee too with their passage of cannabis. Carly and I started in hemp. Hemp is cannabis. So we got a lot of people going to be coming in from Mississippi. Might even ask Mr. Ken Newberger on, who was very, very active with the Mississippi Cannabis Coalition. Who knows? We might even get Mr. Bubba Carpenter on, who voted for it. and some other individuals that are getting involved in the business and ask them, how they're going to get involved in the business. Now, I am going to offer my 27 years of expertise for consulting. If anyone wants to know how they can get involved in the cannabis industry, there are literally hundreds of jobs, thousands of jobs that can be created, thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs that will be created, but hundreds of businesses that anyone with a business entrepreneurship acumen can go out and create with the right knowledge and knowing the right regulations to do so. So if you are interested in having Carly or I consult you, just know that we are honestly, I don't know anyone else who can say that I'm not saying that they're not, but Carly and I both are certified by Green Flower. Your cannabis fundamentals classes. That's just one of the certificates. I need to get it in a frame on the wall. You can go and look this up too. Again, we're all aligned as being a big supporter, both financially and speaking to legislatures across the state of Mississippi and other states, and helping advise, get this passed, and speak for you, the people. We wanted to make sure that the common man got to give some input as well. And I feel like Mississippi got that right and they did that. There's only a few things that I'm unhappy with. We can talk about those at a later date, but you're going to want to be looking for us again. Podbean, Mississippi Cannabis Radio. That'll be something that we start doing weekly. It will be about an hour show, maybe longer. We will have, again, different people from across the industry, what's going on in the state of Mississippi, what's going on with the new laws for the cannabis industry, what's going on with medically, what you need to do to get your card, medically, what do I need to know about getting diagnosed, medically, what do I need to know, physicians to go to. You're going to want to follow us again. We cannot invite you from our page, but what we want to do, Carly and I both want to invite you. Come and join any of our social medias. Go like our Facebook page, Prescotts Hemp, Prescott CBD. We will be informing you there, but we are shut down. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube. We're now on YouTube, live on YouTube as well. Go join our channel. We will leave that link as well for those of you that want to follow us on YouTube. And then last but not least, of course, our new podcast on Podbean, Mississippi Cannabis Radio. Till next time, guys. See ya. And as always, reach out to us. Our numbers are online. They're on Facebook. Message us because we love and are excited about sharing more of the bill hot off the press. This is the bill in my hands on medical cannabis, and we can't wait to share it with you all and help all those out there who now have the right to God's medicine that can help them. Thanks, guys. Till next time, be safe. Tell everyone that you love them because we may not get tomorrow.